One more time. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome once again. Hope you're having an amazing evening. And we are in the middle of the jungles of Tulum. And as I don't know if you've heard, but we're in a cyclone warning and a storm warning. So apparently the power's out in the city. But we're lucky we have solar, but that's why we had to cut and come back. My bad. It's just, yeah, when the power goes out, what are you going to do? So thank goodness for sustainability, right? Anyway, let's see how long this lasts. And come and join us. We are live in Miami TV from the beautiful jungles of Tulum, Tuesday, June 18, 2024. ¿Cómo estamos, amigos? Bienvenidos. ¿Cómo estamos? Inglés, inglés, no se olviden. Saludos, Alejandro, a la Ciudad de México. Hola. My name is Sam. Oh, Sam, I saw you. You were the first one connected, so thanks. That really means a lot. What's up, guys? Join us. Okay, what do you guys want to talk about today? We left a topic. We left a topic in the in the stove yesterday. You know what's going to happen? I know what's going to happen. I just wrote stove on my emails. So since the whole power is out, we don't have the AC running right now in the studio, just the fan, and I know what's going to happen. It's going to start getting so hot in here that I'm going to start deliberately just speaking nonsense. Like, it happens sometimes. So if that happens, you know why. Is when you get just like these heat waves and it's like, what is going on? So yeah, I need one of those abanicos. Necesito un abanico, chicos. ¿Cómo están? But it's good to laugh a little bit and have a good night. It didn't work, most people. Lots of love. Hi, Sam. Good evening, dear, from India. Can you lie? You missed my name. I give your detail to a few people in my country. Can I lie? Maybe you meant live. Hi, Ish. How are you? Welcome, India. I hope you're having a great evening. Okay, guys, let's start with yesterday's follow-up of a topic, and let's see how far I can pull this off with the heat. Hey, Jenny, is this true or not? The universe doesn't recognize your personal desires. Hi, TikTok. It wants or needs. It only understands the frequency you are vibrating in. If you're vibrating in the frequency of fear, guilt, or shame, you will attract things of similar vibration. If you're vibrant at the frequency of love, joy, and abundance, you will attract things to support that frequency. Yeah, 1,000%, absolutely. I think we talked about this the other day, now that I remember, but it's one of those topics that, it never gets old kind of thing. And I realized that a lot of people that are trying to make changes in their life, they focus specifically on thinking something that they want, right? Like, you want to be positive. You want to have a change in your life. You want a good relationship. But the thing is that if you don't actually support these thoughts with the energy that you're vibrating within you, these thoughts are just going to be lost in oblivion, okay? So what you want to do is you want to get to the point where you want something so badly that you basically implant it in your subconscious. Once you want something so badly, your body alone is going to start generating this frequency of desire towards that specific goal, and that is going to eventually just I guess we could say, generate on its own throughout the days, because once it leaves your conscious mind, which is the one that you're giving this thorough thought of, this is what I want, right? So that's the first action. But then the next one is the emotion, the desire. Once you desire it enough, you actually no longer have to think about it so much, because you've already implanted it in your subconscious, and our subconscious works on its own. That's why it's so important for us to actually go through situations of clearing out any past traumas or things that might be blocking us. Because if something is blocking you, maybe you went through a specific situation when you were a kid or when you were young or at whatever age, and it and it's still kind of haunting you, even though when you think about it, you just say, no, I don't even remember that. That never happened. These are when regressions actually come in and make a big change. If you ever want to have, hi, Faisal, welcome, Pi. If you ever were interested to do a regression, I highly recommend them. I think they're amazing. It's basically tuning into your subconscious level and digging really, really deep down in your brain to find things that you no longer are conscious that are there. Okay, so you could actually have something that's still with you, that's still traumatizing you in a subconscious level that you have no idea it's still there. And it might be something as silly as being a 5-year-old kid that just ruined its favorite toy. I'm not kidding. I always give the example of my mom when it comes to this. I was present in one of her regressions, and she went back to when she was like 10 or 12, and her family was very humble. They didn't have money, so they saved up to buy her a beautiful dress. In her birthday, she was running around. She went to the park. She was very, very happy with the dress, and she ruined it. She fell from the swing, and it was filled with mud, and it ripped. So for that particular person in that time in their life, that was the most important thing in their life. I mean, imagine that you don't think of, you don't have responsibilities, you don't have a job, you don't have to go out to pay for food. So you're giving something that you wanted your short life, and that is your number one attention. So when you do something that's negative towards whatever it is that you obtained, obviously you're going to feel like your whole world just crashed. That is why also people that fall in love for the first time, when you fall in love for the first time and that doesn't go well, same thing. You think that you're never going to get up, that's the end of the world. Oh my God, I'm never going to find somebody else. And then life teaches you and you realize that you deserve the best. And if that wasn't the best, well, then it's just everything happens for a reason. But we have so many things that we carry with us that don't necessarily pop up into our minds in our everyday life, right? But are still there, that can block our emotional level and can block our desires for that, instead of them actually coming out 1,000% in potence, strongly from our body. When you think, this is what I want a beautiful relationship, or I want this house or this car or this degree or this to go to this college. But it's not just saying that you want it. You actually have to generate your own energy towards that desire. If the energy So we're having a little bit of a connection problem, guys. Let's go ahead and we can rec now. I think it's like the main thing, because usually if the Wi-Fi cuts, we can still have it recorded. So we're going to have a little bit of an on and off here. Okay, so welcome, everyone. Let me know up until which point you saw us. I live in the moon plays a serpent. Sea crashes on the shore. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. UFOs rule. Hi, Kelly. Okay, so wait, I have to read up. I know you guys were talking about other things. Let me go up. Let's see. No, Anthony, good morning. Good morning. Some women have cosmic surgery because of vanity. Some women don't have surgery because of vanity. Helen Mirren has ageless beauty. Personally, I think facelift is worse than wrinkles. You know what? I think that you should leave that to the women that are doing whatever they're doing to themselves and their bodies. It's their bodies, it's their face. They have the right to do whatever they want to it. Let's see. Watching the news from the Philippines. Amazing. Teacher girlfriend. Thanks. So. No, there was another one from Anthony. I thought it was me. It's not you, and it's because we have a storm, you guys. That's when we get Starlink. Actually, Starlink is like our backup Wi-Fi, so when the fiber optic crashes, the Starlink comes in, but then it's not strong enough to do the stream. Why do I feel like I missed something else? Okay, let's just continue. I am also on your side. The positive and negative learn from our eyes and mind. AI doesn't have a mind. AI will work on as our command, as when computers come in our life. Interesting. Encantadoras. ¿Cómo estamos? Bienvenidos. Gracias. Bueno, yo toda inspirada ahí dando mi mensaje y aquí pues quizás quedó en YouTube. No lo sé. Ya veremos. Y si no, pues vamos a hacerlo de nuevo. ¿Hasta dónde me escucharon? Until when did you hear me, guys? Jenny, true or not, the universe doesn't recognize your personal desires. So I was giving the example, yes, we are in a storm. I was giving the example in case you guys didn't tune in that particular time of when there's a family member that's sick in your family, right? Maybe they're in the hospital and you're really, really scared to lose this person's life, to lose them from your life. So all of the family members get together at the hospital and they start praying, they start uniting hands, they start, please, either to God or to Buddha or to Allah or to whoever, or to Satan. I mean, some people's gods is Satan, so whoever you pray to or whoever you wish to or whoever you just desire to, okay, you get my point. It doesn't matter. That desire that you're sending out of basically thinking, please, take me and not him or not her, or if you don't get better, this is going to destroy my life kind of feeling where you're just breaking inside. That kind of feeling, that kind of sensation is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to placing a desire so strong inside of your body that your power of thought multiplies by 1,000. So if a thought goes by your mind and you're saying, I want X, right? I want this. And then 5 minutes later, you're thinking about something else because that's no longer important because you have other things to do, right? Then the strength that you actually sent out towards that thought is limited. Okay, so you need to enhance that thought with a really strong power of emotional energy. And you're not able to change your emotions and to portray that wanting emotion if there is traumas that are blocking your energy to begin with. That's why it's so important to actually go through stages of facing your demons, facing yourself in the mirror and saying, what the heck is going on here? What do I need to fix? What happened to my life? Or what happened in this moment, at that moment, that didn't go well, that I need to remove from myself? And it's moments of sadness. These are moments of heartbreaks. These are moments of disappointments. And we basically just start bottling them all up. And that is precisely what we need to get rid of. It's almost like we need to have an empty bottle all over again. And to be able to have an empty bottle, we really need to admit that these feelings are there to begin with, so you need to face them. You need to go back and say, oh no, but I'm so over that, that heartbreak, or I'm so over that moment, or that never happened. And then in reality, your subconscious is still feeling this retreat kind of feeling when maybe your confidence is low, right? Or maybe you don't have what it takes, your gut level is low, where you don't have the guts to actually go out and do something for yourself. So if you see that you have personality traits that are blocking you in whatever kind of way, it basically means that you have negative blockages and you need to get rid of these, okay? Find somebody near you that can do a therapy for you, that can do a regression for you. There's a lot of moments that we have in our lives that unfortunately are really, really dug deep into our subconscious that I don't know if you heard this part when we were talking about it, but in case, I always give the example of my mom having this regression that I was present, sorry, where she went back to like her 12th or 13th birthday, and she was so happy with the dress. She went on a swing and she broke the dress and she got it dirty with mud. So for her, she went back to this moment in her childhood where she started crying. In real life, like in today's life, in the middle of the regression, you can say, how is it possible? And she's like, I didn't even know that was in there. I'm like, could you imagine the amount of emotions and situations that we have recorded in our mind? I mean, every millisecond, every thought that we have, which it's so many so many thoughts a day. Every single thought that we have is recorded. So we can go back to these thoughts. Could you possibly count how many sad moments you've had in your life, or how many depressions you've had, or how many heartbreaks, or how many aching moments of pain? And sum them all up. And when you maybe look at yourself in the mirror and say, no, I'm totally over this, then go ahead and look at your life and say, am I a confident person? Are my behaviors of positive traits, or do I seem to always look at the negative stuff instead of the positive ones? Do I attract couples that are good for me? Do I attract a job that is good for me? And when you start seeing that maybe one of these isn't really working for you, maybe you're self-conscious about yourself, you really need to go back and just start, bloop. It's kind of like you go in a computer and you put the clean. You know, there's an app actually on the phone that says clean. So on your phone or on your computer, you have this button where you can clean the trash out, or where you can scan your phone and remove any viruses or remove any things that are not supposed to be there because they're affecting and slowing down the memory of your RAM. That is exactly how your brain works. You need to clear out your RAM. Okay? I'm liking this today. Do you think artificial intelligence would have a spiritual side to it? I think artificial intelligence can help with exactly what we're talking about. I think artificial intelligence, there is going to be devices eventually created so that we can study our dreams. And I don't know how long they're going to take until they actually make this public, because they already exist. But I think that is a huge game changer. I think that there's going to be an advance, which maybe we're not going to see, but our next generations are going to see, where there's going to be space travel, and there's going to be the conscience and the mind is going to be studied to such deep levels that there is going to be, I guess, a little bit of a spiritual side to it, but always to be taken lightly, because you can get help from AI. It could be your psychologist, for example. Like if an AI can actually scan your mind, it can scan your subconscious, and it can actually help you face these emotions. Just like the movie I was talking about yesterday of J-Lo. There's a part in the movie where, if you didn't see it, I'm sorry, I'm going to spoil it. There's a part in the movie where it actually shows the AI syncing to the Neuralink and going through the past memories of how she was feeling guilty about something. So if it's taken in the right hands and it's used with a good purpose, I think it could be amazing for the human brain in advance. But the thing is, okay, let it help you and then move on yourself. Like let it find your problem. And what's going to happen to psychologists, by the way? Or psychiatrists? I think they're just going to be like gone forever. Maybe just don't study that. Because you might be out of a job in the future. Just think about it. I must attempt a goal. Stop. I want to achieve great things, but I have a terrible fear of failure. So I must attempt a goal, win or lose. How do you conquer? And I lost the comment. I think it was, how do you conquer the fear of failure? So hi Anthony, thank you. So if you have a fear of failure, more than likely this comes from your childhood. So I'm gonna ask a question, and obviously you don't have to answer it publicly, but just answer it to yourself. At any moment in your childhood, did you have a parent saying that maybe, or maybe showing you that what you were doing, it wasn't good enough? Most of the cases, this is something that really relates. If this isn't the case, then there must have been something that happened at some point in your life when you were developing as a human being, meaning your brain was developing, your body was developing, everything was developing. Sorry, guys. That this happened. Okay, so if this is the case, maybe that it happened in your youth, then you're going to be able to realize right away. Or maybe it's something that happened that you no longer remember because you don't have it present and it's stuck in your subconscious, like we were talking about. But yeah, ask yourself that question. Now, how do you overcome this fear of failure? First, you have to figure out, where is it coming from? And why are you afraid of failure? I mean, there is something that was deeply rooted into your brain at some point throughout your life that triggers that fear. So immediately when you have a task in hand and you have a goal to complete, you prefer not to do it because that emotion is so strong that triggers in your brain and triggers all your emotions in a negative way that you say, nope, you know what, I'd rather just not do anything at all. So let me know if you do want to answer life. If the universe is connected with human behavior, can you ask it to do you favors? The universe doesn't do favors. The universe actually responds to waves that you're sending out. So, when people say God doesn't exist because, because I asked for this and my family member died, right? And I was asking for a miracle. I'm not trying to talk about God. I don't talk about religion. But for me, whatever people believe in, for me, it's just energy, okay? So when people say, something so-and-so doesn't believe or doesn't exist, or it failed me, and it's God's problem that there's wars. If there was a God, wars wouldn't exist. That is usually what people would say. And I used to think this way, and I started debating with my meditators about this, and they taught me this, which is what I usually teach you guys, that there isn't like a soul entity that actually decides something. These are energies that are constantly being created, transmuted, destroyed. Believe it or not, yes, energy can be destroyed. I know a lot of people say that it can't, but then, I actually am able to dissipate negative energy, so maybe you could say it transforms. We believe that it actually just dissipates, and it's filled with positivity. So if you want it to do you favors, it's not really a favor. The question is, do you deserve it? Are you generating the energy and the wavelength and the frequency to send out to the universe so it basically bounces back and gives you what you want? So it's not giving you a favor. What it's doing, it's just, there's a name for this that I can't think of right now. It's just a cause and consequence kind of thing, right? You create it and then it works. Now, when people say X doesn't exist because this negative situation happened, it's nobody's fault. And that's, I think, when people really fall into this this debate, right? Or is there something higher out there that actually allows for evil to happen? And that actually doesn't exist. It's just evil happens because there is evil energies that make evil things happen. Just like good happens because you are generating a good energy for good to happen. So we are the creators of our universe, just like other entities in other planets also are creators of energies in universe. So everything that happens in one planet actually bounces into the universe. And humans per se, just like other species, but not all of them, humans in particular are incredibly special because we have this power inside of us of creating this energy. So when people say we are creators of the universe, it's legit, like that's actually what happens. So when the question appears of, God doesn't exist because how could he or she or it, how could it allow for this evil to take place? And I'm going to give you an answer to that. If the planet that we live in is thriving with people generating negativity, we humans are responsible for the negative energy that is being used for those massacres or that war that's happening on another side of the world to happen. So it's our fault. When you think that what you do isn't reflecting in another side of the world, you're wrong. You don't only affect your environment, you affect the universe in general. Not even only like our space or our planet, you're affecting everything. Because when you send out negative waves, more negative energies come into our planet, being attracted to this negative energy. So that's why it's so important to fix ourselves and just emanate positive energy. Once everybody's thoughts are pure, once everybody's body is purified, and we don't think of how to harm somebody else or how to step over somebody's head to get to the top because we're selfish, and you just have pure thoughts, imagine everybody in the world just having thoughts of progress and love towards another person. We wouldn't be seeing any of the nonsense that is going on around the world. And these entities that are definitely taking over our planet wouldn't be here to begin with, because where there's enough love, this is how it works. This is a space. We are inhabiting a space. Spaces need to be filled with something. They're either filled with positive or negative, sometimes neutral, but it's either black or white. So our planet is mainly filled by negative spaces, unfortunately, and that is why all these kind of energies are coming in and making things worse. Jenny, I need a boost of confidence. When people put me down, I just give up. If I had more confidence, I wouldn't give up. When others believe in me, that's amazing. I think you should find a really good friend, somebody really close to you, or you know what? Let's say you don't have anybody, maybe you do, but let's say that you don't have anybody. Put yourself alarms on your phone. Put yourself alarms with motivational quotes, okay? Or only follow motivational accounts on social media so that every time you get your phone, it's actually coming out and giving you something good. So you are going to do the job of actually creating these triggers towards your mind where you're saying, you could do this. You are the best at anything you put your mind towards. There is nothing you can't do, okay? And write them down, and then actually you should actually memorize them, but write them down first so then it actually becomes physical, and then go ahead and just put little alarms. It doesn't matter if it's the same affirmation every single day, as long as it's popping up and you're reading it, and then when you read it, you're gonna think of me. And then immediately you're gonna be tuned into positive energy, so no worries. Rastafarians believe that what you eat can improve your spiritual energy. Oh yeah, absolutely, 1,000%. I think that's why our foods are so poisoned. I think it's on purpose. It's because there is dark energies and forces in the universe that don't want us to, succeed, that don't want us to become what we really are. So that's why it's important to just be aware and be conscious of what it is that you're consuming and put it into your body. I mean, once you start really investigating, and there's so much information online, and even like on TikTok, even on Instagram, there are so many videos about, the other day I was seeing a video, they were showing the Cheetos, and under a microscope, there was literally parasites in the Cheetos. And here I am, and Enrique's about to grab a Cheetos bag in the supermarket, and I'm like, no! Like, you're gonna eat parasites. And he's like, let me live a little. And I'm like, that's exactly what I want you to do. I want you to live a little. I'm like, you're gonna die. Oh my God, I told you, it's hot. Guys, we have no AC now, so I'm like, this is when I'm gonna start just acting really silly. It's the heat waves. But yeah, you just gotta look for information, and once you start clearing out your body of toxins, your mind is gonna be so much more relaxed, and you're gonna be able to, let's say, be happy and in tuned more than if you're toxic. Toxic body, toxic channel, toxic energy. Pure body, pure channel, pure energy. Simple. I spread love every day. Good angel. It's like your name, you're an angel. So energy is everything in the universe. Everything exists due to energy. Yes, this lady is gorgeous and deep. I could listen to her all day. Hey, Joseph, what's going on? So before we started the show, I mentioned to you guys that we're going through the tail of like a cyclone. Hopefully it doesn't become a hurricane. And I said, I'm gonna start getting really hyper because we did turn off the AC because we're sustainable with solars here in Tulum. And the city has no power right now. So right now there's like a really huge storm happening outside, and here we are like nothing. Hopefully, so far so good, right? We're pulling it off. Yeah, okay, awesome. Okay, let's read some comments, guys. Let's go up. Vamos para arriba. How come? English joke? Which food needs soul food? AI can take you to Mars, but AI cannot calculate the pressure about a human body. And it will tell you at a limit as told by a computer program. Yeah, well, what AI does is it calculates. It does thousands, if not millions, of calculations a millisecond. I mean, and I don't know if, you know what? I don't know if we're able to do that. I mean, because we really could do anything, like anything at all. Like you could move things with your mind, you could teletransport, anything. It's just that we don't, that's not our priority. People don't put as their priority, oh, I want to master my mind. You know, that is my priority, actually. I'm in my last level after 16 years of working with energy. I'm in the last level of energy. So right now, I am actually mastering my power of mind. And maybe it's going to take, I think, another 2 years or maybe a year. I don't know. But I'll let you know how it goes. So far, it's incredible. But most people don't take the time or have the time to, I guess, do that. Which food increases the most energy? Oranges? You know what? I don't know. I think roots. I think anything that's organic, anything that's from earth is definitely great. Name a fruit. Vitamin C, pie and pies, pie and mash, Pioneer's pie. Tell me about the new game. Comes as 20 times 20 World Cup of cricket. Interesting. I haven't heard, so I can't tell you. Jenny, okay, I saw that. When others believe in me, that's amazing. If you have somebody next to you, by the way, if you have a partner or a friend that can actually be that person of motivation for you, and you can tell them, hey, whenever I'm doing something bad, just tell me. Kind of like our editor here, he was biting his nails a lot, and he actually asked me, Jenny, if you see me bite my nails, just tell me. And I'm like, absolutely. Because that's kind of what we're like, and I've done that to people as well. I'm like, if you see me like lash out or have a negative thought or something, let me know. Like, I am not going to get offended whatsoever, because you need to allow other people to let you know when you're doing something that's negative towards you. And then at the beginning, you're not just gonna, it's difficult to just be aware of these moments on your own. So when you allow others to tell you when you're wrong, or to tell you when you're doing something that you want to fix and be better in, you're not only being humble, but you're also really, really helping yourself into later on actually realizing these moments on your own. So it's triggers, you guys. These are all just little triggers that you have to practice. Boston Celtics won the NBA championship last night. Congratulations, Boston Celtics. Jenny, I think we can learn from cats. My cat loves to purr. His needs are simple, so he has no worries. If you're stressed, think of cats. Well, I think that's why it's also good to have animals. Animals, it's like children. That's why they say that the mind of a dog only goes until 3 years of age, approximately. So it's a constant innocence. They're pure. Their energy is super pure, and that's why we benefit from having them around us. I always say, do not trust anybody that doesn't like animals. I don't trust anybody that doesn't like animals. It's just like, you don't like my dog? Okay, goodbye. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. It's really hot in here. Boa noite, amiga. ¿Cómo están? Okay, guys, did we miss anything? Or I know that you guys missed me for a couple of minutes, so we have a little more time. Plus, it's raining outside, so we might as well just keep talking. Do we have any other comments up there? What is your spiritual animal? I'm a wolf. How do you know what your spiritual animal is? Is it the year that you were born? My year is supposedly a dragon, and it's supposed to be the year of the dragon now, so. But I don't know. I don't know what my spiritual animal is, if that isn't it, at least. All right, guys, 1 second. So to finalize this, if you're vibrating a frequency of love, joy, and abundance, you will attract things to support that frequency. I think that's also why a lot of people don't believe in the law of attraction, because down the road, they end up getting disappointed because things just don't happen for them. It's not just about your mind. And I can't debate about this with anybody, but you know what? It's difficult for people to debate with somebody that's always naked. So I get to talk about these subjects just on my own with you guys. Um, but then again, it's like if you're into the subjects, I mean, nudity should just be so normal, right? It's like first the body. My name is Antony. The H is silent, or if you like, the H stands for honey. Antony. Okay, right, in English, I guess, Anthony. Antony. ¿Cómo te en casa 7078? Hoy, ¿cómo estamos, Brasil? Bienvenido, Dragon, cool. I like the 88. Who else is from 88? So a lot of people don't believe in the law of attraction, and they fall short halfway there because their energy is totally messed up. So what I was saying is that that there's some scientists or some motivational speakers that will say that the most important thing in your body is your brain. And I don't agree with this. I think that it is very important, but I think the most important part of our energetically in our body, I guess you could say they're together, your sexual energy and your brain, you know, because they kind of both work in unison. I don't think there's one more important than the other, because if your brain is relaxed and you can think of and be focused, but your core energy is totally gone, what good are these powerful thoughts they're not gonna give you any results. So your core energy, which is where we come from, okay, this is the reproductive area, from there it goes up to your brain. If that is working correctly and your whole body's channel is opened, you're going to be able to have these results with the power of the mind. So like I mentioned, it's really, really great and interesting. I'm in the last phase of my energy training, and right now it's the mind. And wow, I can tell you how huge of a difference I've felt in the past couple of years, but specifically in the past year with my concentration levels, with my multitasking skills, with ideas, with just like all of a sudden I get like showers of ideas and I'm like, oh, am I gonna patent all these? I just leave them there. But yeah, and the more you train your mind, the more you exercise your mind, the more you work your energy, the more you can connect, the smarter you become, the wiser you become, the more connected you're going to become. Cricket team is playing in this game, invented by British, from Australia to South Asian countries and in the USA, requested to play because after football, cricket is most expensive game. Really? I did not know that. Thanks for sharing. I was born in 1970. Okay, tomorrow's my birthday. Oh, should we say, no, I'm going to say happy birthday tomorrow then. Have you heard of Anthony and Cleopatra? Antony, sorry, and Cleopatra. Well, that's how you say my name. Okay, country but plays in the other country up to $2 billion last year in the Indian Cup. Wow, sports play such, I mean, the mass amount of money that is moved in sports, it's crazy. But you know why? Do you know why? Do you know why? We were talking about this the other day, because it manipulates your emotions. So what happens when you're in a sport event? You're screaming, you're yelling, your endorphins are all over the place, you know, your dopamine is all over the place, you're jumping up and down, you're that is energy. So stadiums are filled with energy. That it's also why it's important to make sure that you're, you know, being involved in things that actually make you happy. So yeah, it's unbelievable the amount of thousands of energy masses that are moved in stadiums. So sports are good, are a great thing. Once I found an inspiration from a great story, I felt spiritual. So positive energy is useful for so many things. Absolutely. And the first thing is just up here, you guys. It's not that hard. Just start being aware of things. Start being aware of when you think negatively. Start being aware of when you're doing something that you want to change. And you're basically beating these little negative energies that you might have around you or inside of you with the power of your intelligence. We have something over entities that they will never have over us, and that is our intelligence. Entities are not intelligent. They are conscious beings. So they can try to manipulate you and they can try to influence you into doing something negative, but at the end of the day, you are the one that decides, okay? Love you guys. Have an amazing evening. We will see you tomorrow at the same time here in Miami TV and Jenny Live. Don't forget to check out our sites, miamitv.com. We have other channels available for you, including one that I personally created for you, and it's all about health and holistic and homeopathic practices for a better health, actually, with food. So definitely check it out. Big kisses. Stay positive, smile, and only do things and surround yourself with people that inspire you and make you happy. Good night.